Okay, students, I'm going to show you the basics of how to create a room using the 1-point perspective techniques and tools. So, what you're going to need is a pencil. You will also need a ruler. And then to make your lines all the way across, if you don't have a yardstick, I just cut out some papers for you that you can use so you can make your lines in the middle of your paper. Okay, so first I do want you to know that lines are either going to be parallel vertical, parallel horizontal, or they're going to be on the perspective line. And once you create your room, you will add the images and objects that you want to put into it. Then you're going to color it with watercolor pencils. And then after that, you can use a brush to give it that watercolor effect. So let's get started. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your paper that I cut out for you and looking for the straight edge. Now you see how this is curved? That's because it wasn't cut straight, but you will have a straight cut edge. Put your paper on here from corner to corner and then make your line. Now do this very slowly so that you don't bend your paper and that it stays straight, okay? Now you're going to do that on the other corner, from corner to corner. So come down here. Okay, and there we have our X. Now what you're going to do is this is going to be your vanishing point right here in the middle, okay? All right, and then these lines are going to be, this is going to be the top part of your roof or ceiling. This will be your walls, and then this will be your floor. Okay, so now if you're going to create an aquarium, which I'll show you how to do that first, you're going to want to make at least maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. This will be the side of your aquarium walls, okay? And make sure that you keep your ruler straight up and down as you do this, okay, as you draw your lines. So go ahead and draw your line. Go to the next dot, keeping your ruler straight. Draw your next line. Okay, straight. Next line. And so forth. Okay. There we go. And then you'll want to do the same thing over here. So make your lines about the same distance. Okay. And then go ahead and do that. So right there. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Okay, so as you can see here, I have created an arched ceiling. So what this is going to be is like a round ceiling. So you want to create your arcs so they are connected to your vertical lines. Okay, and keep in mind too that some of these will go off the page. So you just need to use your imagination to continue on as to where it picks up. Okay, so this one, I'm going to put a little bit higher, like that. This one goes off the page. This one goes off the page. Okay. Down a little bit rounder. Okay. Okay. So now we have our arced ceiling. Okay. Now for our floor, what we are going to do is we're going to take our ruler and we're going to the bottom of our page, and you can just put it underneath where it is, underneath your page, just like that. So you're not really on it, you're just at the bottom. And then you're going to make a mark on every inch, okay? So we'll make a mark there, 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 there. Make sure that you don't move it. And every inch you just make a mark. This is so we can make our checkerboard floor, okay? Now what you're going to do is you're going to start making vertical lines that go to these marks that you just made to help create your pattern. Okay, so now that I've marked my paper every inch, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ruler, I'm going to lay it on my vanishing point, and then I'm going to take it to this, the first dot over here, and I'm going to create a line. So go from there to there. Move it over, stay on my vanishing point up there. Remember, this is your vanishing point. Always keep your pencil on your vanishing point. Okay. Okay, so now the next thing you're going to do is you're going to need to make lines across to create your checkerboard pattern. So what I suggest is in between, you'll make your lines in between each of these okay? And this will help to create a spatial distance that grows from wide to narrow as the lines go further into the distance. So place your horizontal lines, because you're going to make horizontal lines, place them directly between the vertical lines rather than just making them random. Okay, so let's go ahead and start down here. So I'm going to put a dot in the middle and then a dot in the middle of each line. And that's why I would draw my vertical lines. Okay, so you want to make sure that that stays straight, okay? So from that point to that point, I will draw my first line. And from that point to that point. Okay. All right. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and erase all these little dots. making sure that you have your lines still there. If you need to put your lines back in, go ahead and do that. But just get rid of all the little extra dots. And then what you're going to do after that is you're going to trace your lines with a Sharpie, and then you're going to color in your checkerboard pattern. Now before you do that, I suggest that you take your pencil and you start marking your pattern so that you have every other one that you're going to color in with your Sharpie. And remember, you alternate. Oops, wrong one. That's why we use a pencil. This is exactly why we use a pencil, because I did this wrong down here. Shouldn't have put one there. Okay, and this is why we use a pencil. Okay, once you have this complete, then just take a Sharpie, go ahead and trace over your lines. If you need to, please use a ruler so that your lines stay straight. You want this really nice. And then where you have marked, everyone that you have marked, go ahead and color that in with the Sharpie as well. Okay, and then we'll continue from there, okay? Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to do a regular room. So you will need your template to make your X. You will need an eraser, a pencil, and a ruler, and then you can get your colors afterwards. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing you're going to need to do is to make your X, and this is so you'll have some kind of guide for your orthogonal or convergent lines. Remember we went over that? So you take your template, put it from one corner to the next, and then very carefully and slowly make one of your lines. So I come halfway, then I stop, and I put my hand down, and I hold it very tight, and go down. See how I'm moving my hands like this, like a spider? So I move it down as I make my line. Go ahead and make the next one. Make sure that you do this very carefully as well. Put it from corner to corner. There. And then right there. Then hold it. Make your line carefully. There. So now I have my X. The next thing I will do is decide how far or how long I want my walls to be. So if you want to make less wall area and more back area because you want to put some kind of design or something, more a bigger design or word or something on the back, this is going to be the back of your room. Okay, this is where your vanishing point is. Okay, so decide how big you want that and make a rectangle. So I think I'm going to make mine about like that. Make sure you do it evenly so that this line is straight, vertically straight, up and down. Okay, so I'm going to do that. And I want to come over and I want this side to be the same. I want this side to be the same as this side. So about, you can kind of look at it and see about right there. Okay, and then I'll make my line across the bottom, making sure that this looks even. And then do the same up here. Making sure that the top is straight across. And make my line. There I have my rectangle. Okay, so I decided I'm going to create an art room. Okay, so this will be the back. Now I'm going to put some pictures here on the side. And you can, when you decide what you want for your room, that's up to you. I will have some examples so you can choose what you want for your room. But I'm going to go ahead and put some pictures here. And I think I'll try to see if I can maybe put 3. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start lightly by drawing diagonal lines that converge towards the vanishing point. This will create the top frame of the picture of the portrait. So I'm going to go about like this. Remember, you always want to keep your ruler on the vanishing point. You don't want to just draw without your ruler. Your ruler is your most important tool. Okay, so remember that. Always keep it on the vanishing point, and then I'm going to make the top of my portrait, and then keep it right there. And I think I want it about down to here. That's about how big I want my portrait. And I'll make my next line. Okay, just like that. So now I have the top and the bottom of one of my portraits. Next, I'm going to draw 2 vertical lines to render the side frames of my portrait. There. And remember to keep this straight. So you want to make sure that it's not like that. You want to use your eyes to make sure that it's straight. Okay? So I think this one I better straighten it up just a little bit more. It looks pretty straight. Come back over here. And this is going to be my first portrait. And maybe I'll bring it out a little bit more. That's why you use a pencil. There. So then I'll erase the inside line. And then erase this line. And you'll notice that I didn't have to make my line all the way. Now you can if you want, and you can erase, so you can just take your line all the way and then take your line all the way, or you can just go ahead and measure if you know where you want it to be. Okay, so there is my first portrait. Okay, so now I don't want this just to look like a square. I do want it to look like a portrait. So I will put a frame, and I'm just going to go ahead and render a frame. So let's make it about like that. And remember, your frame will also follow the rules of using the vanishing point. Okay, so I'm going to bring this up, go that way, and like that. Okay, and actually I think I want to put one on the top too. So and on the bottom. go. Yeah, that's better. And this way, it follows the rules. And I'll add my vertical line over here, about right there. Okay. Oops. I have a shadow, so it's a little harder. Okay. There I have the frame of my portrait. Now I will do my next one. So I'm going to put my ruler on my vanishing point, and I will come over, and I can make my line there, or I can just start right here. So I can do the line all the way if I'm not comfortable, or I can just go ahead and start my next one. So this will be my next one. And I wanted to follow that one. So put it there. On my vanishing point. And it may not look right, but believe me, it is. Just trust the vanishing point. Don't trust your eyes. So you want to make sure that you have this on the vanishing point, and you want it to make it the same size as this across the top. So I did this, and then I will make my door frame, my portrait frame as well. So I'm going to come to the bottom of this one, the very the bottom, not the bottom of the door frame, of the portrait frame. I keep wanting to call it door frame. The bottom of the first line of the portrait frame, and then I will come about right here again and make my line. Okay, and I don't want it to be that close, probably about right there. Make sure that you're looking at the side here to see if it's straight as you draw your line, okay? As you draw your vertical line. So let's do this. And remember, you always want to put your ruler on your vanishing point before you draw your diagonal lines that converge to the vanishing point. So I have that one there, and then that one there. And now I would draw my vertical lines. Okay, that's about right there. Make sure it's straight. And like that. And then I'll probably put a half one here, but now I just want to go ahead and make the portrait frame. So I'll put it on top, put it on the vanishing point, and go to the top of my portrait for this one to make the top of my portrait for this one. And go ahead and draw it out. Do the same thing over here. And remember, it may not look right, but trust your vanishing point. Always trust your vanishing point. And then I would do this one with my vertical line. Okay? And then this side. Let's see. About right there. Making sure everything's straight. Okay, there we go. Then you want to do diagonal lines here because this is the corners. Erase those lines. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to draw one more portrait on this side, but it's going to go off my picture because you won't be able to see the whole thing, okay? So I'll just draw like half of one. So what I'll do again is I'll put my ruler on my vanishing point. Always trust your vanishing point. Put the ruler on the vanishing point, and then I'm going to go to this line, not the top line, but this line right here and this line. So I will put that on both of those lines right there, and then I will draw my diagonal lines that converge towards my vanishing point to make my third one. So I can either draw a line all the way, or I can just go to where I want it, which is about here, and then draw my line. And I'll do the same thing for the bottom. Put my ruler on the vanishing point. I will put my ruler on this line, on this top line of both, just like that. And then I'll go ahead and draw my line from here over. Okay. Now I'll go ahead and make my frame. So I'll go to the bottom of these lines. Make sure that I put my ruler on my vanishing point before I draw my diagonal line that converges towards the vanishing point. And then I will make my line. Same thing here. You're going to go to the top of these lines now. Just like that. Put it on the vanishing point. Go to the top of those lines and then make your line. Always just trust your vanishing point. And then I'll make my vertical line straight up and down. Make sure that you have it straight before you do it, like that. And then I will draw the outside frame. I'll probably go about right there, like that, and make sure it's straight. It can be a little difficult. There we go. Okay, so there I have my third portrait. And then you can just fill the inside up with what you want, okay? I'm going to go ahead and finish the other side, okay? Okay, so I have all of my portrait frames completed. And now I'm going to go ahead and do my floor. So to do the floor, you're going to take your ruler and you're going to measure each of the squares because you want them all to be equal. You want them to all be the same width and height. So I'm going to take my ruler, put it down below my paper, and I will mark every inch. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. And remember, always put your lines light. I'm making mine a little dark because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. But do yours light so you can just erase, okay? Okay, so there now I have that completed. Take that off. I need all those papers underneath it. And then I will go put my ruler on my vanishing point and take my lines to each of those. Just like that. And it helps to put your pencil on there too. Always put your pencil on the vanishing point and then put your ruler on the line. Okay, so for my room, I decided I'm going to put either a picture or a skylight or something up here. So I still have my vanishing point that I can see. And I'm going to put my ruler on my vanishing point. And I think I'll make my skylights probably about right here. And or my I could also put another portrait up there, so but let's go ahead and measure about the same distance, about like that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Yeah, I don't, yeah, let's do it like that. Okay, and then make sure that it's straight across. Now erase these lines. I don't need those. Make the outside. Put my vanishing point. Trust your vanishing point. Then my diagonal line that converges towards the vanishing point. Make my diagonal line that converges towards the vanishing point as well. Okay, just like that. Okay, this for some reason didn't go the way I wanted it to. Do that one again, put on the vanishing point. Like that. That's why it's always good to use a pencil. It stays on the vanishing point. Sometimes it seems a little difficult. There, that's better. And I'll draw this line again. Make sure that it's straight across. That one straight across. Okay. And this could either be another portrait or it could be a skylight or whatever I prefer. And then I would just go ahead and fill in what I wanted to fill in. So there you go. Okay, I'll show you what I have when I'm finished. Okay, so next I'm going to draw horizontal lines in order to create the tile effect. So I'll draw my horizontal lines that are parallel to the horizon line. So this would be my horizon line right here. Okay, remember these lines will get closer together as you move closer to the vanishing point. So what I would do is I would just go ahead and maybe mark and maybe put a line here in the middle, here in the middle, here in the middle, then here in the middle, and here in the middle, and so forth. So I'll make a line here, then I'm going to put one here, put one here, 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 and then this is going to be the back, so this will be erased. Okay, so go ahead and put your ruler on your line. Make sure that it's straight. Your ruler needs to be straight when you make your horizontal line. Okay, and then make it across. So I'll also want to put a line here, 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 here. Okay. And make sure that it's straight. Make my first line. Put there, make sure it's straight. My second line. And so forth, okay? Okay. It's pretty good. Okay, there I have my checkerboard pattern for my floor. And just take a moment to erase any of the guidelines that you no longer need. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and erase these lines right here because I would no longer need them, because I'm going to use this for something, for a picture in the back or something too. Okay. Okay, so here I have added some art pieces, and I don't know if you can see them very well. I haven't colored them in yet, but I will color them in. I also put a skylight. I made this a skylight instead of a picture. So I just have a tree and a bird and some little clouds. And then I have my other artworks over here. I also decided to put in a couch so that people can sit down and relax if they want to. Okay. All right, there you go. Have fun.